But at this point, the news of female Custodes spread like wildfire, even people outside the community are mentioning troll smoke. And just like Jon Snow once said,
I don't want it.
no one asked for this. No one wanted to see the equivalent of female space marines other than the employees of the company. It's something I see incredibly pointless. Why introduce females into a group of roided up muscleheads, even if they are the elite versions? Especially since we have female Custodes being the sister of silence that desperately needs love. No one has an issue with seeing a female, hell, people like to touch one, and 40k doesn't like any female factions. We have the Sister of Battle as well as have the Imperial Guard and a bunch of other female characters from different races. So the problem isn't female, that's not why there's an uproar, but the ill intention behind it. Because if they care about the lore of 40k and want more female characters, expand the lore, create new characters, make books, update the models, but that's not the intention. They want to fundamentally change something to suit their needs, not respecting the lore. With this infamous line saying there's always been female Custodes. This here is so toxic and evil to blatantly say that hammering this new lore to Custodes fans, fundamentally retconning what they learned from the books and time they invested into the faction. I've seen this happen to Star Wars where we have people adding things or changing stuff about the lore to suit their wants, despite not making sense to the point the franchise became nothing more than a shell. That's the reason I became a Warhammer fan and am enjoying the hobby side, to escape the mess that made that poor franchise. And we're hearing the same song being played that kills Star Wars happening here. I know the argument that the story process is different, we're not exactly sure how they're made, but it's like the Krabby Patty secret formula. You don't need to know the specific ingredients why it's special. The mystery of it is what makes it sound good. The same could be said for Custodes. It's left a mystery to make them feel more elite. Going back to that intellectual line, this is so stupid to come out saying that because it's one thing if they said around 40k they've been making female Custodes since they've been put on the meat grinder by Gorilla Man and need fresh replacements. However, they specifically said the first 10,000. The problem is that there's books dating during that period and 40k plus books of the Horus Heresy continuing after that period. This lore is saying the sons were made into Custodes. This isn't vague information of a lost Word document of the Imperial records. This is canon lore being changed to suit their wants. It's not like the Tower or the Leagues of Votan where they explain why we haven't seen them, doing their best to make sense or fully, ironically enough, flesh out the Necrons, expanding the lore. That's what GW does best, is being careful with the lore since that's how they make their money, and they don't want to pull in end times. This tweet doesn't do that, it just pulls a dial lead trying to hypnotize people saying, what are you talking about? There's always been female Custodes, now follow us below the river to remind you. This is why I find it so evil, because they're forcing it down the community's throats. It's not gonna stop there, just like Star Wars they're gonna keep going. Like this go open the doors to add other things like the Lost Primers were in fact females this whole time. Why? Why not? Why can't the Emperor create daughters to help in the crusade? What's wrong with Space Marines referring to them as mothers? Or why does it have to be the boys, well not the lads? Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, save my mind against the Scarlet Rot. This is a franchise killer. That's why you see the community push back against this, because you can't add or change things that's established canon just because you aren't happy about it. There's something on seeing 40k? Yeah, I want Skaven Saurus, but the way things are going, it's never gonna happen. And doing this is very dangerous to do in the community, especially since this is Warhammer fans. They're willing to burn $1,000 of plastic as protest. That's how diehard they are. I don't want to see a divide in the community like Star Wars creating a toxic pile crap of a fan base. I am genuinely worried about the future of this franchise that'll become the very thing I try to escape, but that's left to the hands of the future. All we can do is wait and see, and hopefully they'll pull back from this, or this is where the decline of 40k truly begins. Thank you for watching, and bye.